Who's with me so far? I see that Diane is showing in the chat, but I think she may have joined this tour yesterday, so I don't know if she's still here. I posted a link right at the very beginning of the chat for anyone who's interested, which is for our Facebook group, the Down Unders. That's the one that Susanna and I manage. So, and the following link that I posted was for Susanna's tour, which is following mine. But I've heard from her this morning she's having a terrible bout of seasonal allergies. So I think she's actually planning on cancelling that tour. Alrighty, so good morning, Christine. Hi, Tina. Hi, Linda. Hi, Lillian. Hi, Una. Oh, you're very welcome, Lillian. Stay for as long as you can. I won't actually reach the memorial until about 40 minutes from now, about half an hour from now, and I'll be going by the St Mary's Church, first of all. So we're starting off for the first few minutes just looking at the jacarandas and walking towards the beautiful St Mary's Cathedral. Stay for as long as you can, Lillian. I do understand. Hi, Connie. Hi, E. All right, so the reason I decided to start at this point, just wait for this noisy truck to go past, garbage collection, is because we have the absolutely beautiful jacaranda trees here. Now, is there anyone here with me who doesn't know what a jacaranda tree or jacaranda flower actually looks like? Hi, Janishka. Hi, Adrian. Right, so I've picked one up from the ground. So if anyone doesn't know what it looks like, this is the jacaranda flower. Let me hold it on my hand. And when we turn the corner, you'll see that the ground is literally covered. There's a purple carpet just around the corner. So let's take off and have a look. We're starting at the Old Fitzroy Hotel in the suburb of Woolloomooloo, which is right next to King's Cross, for anyone who knows Sydney. And Woolloomooloo in earlier times was an area mainly populated by the lower socioeconomic class. So it was a rather rough and dangerous area. I'm going to, first of all, just show you the beautiful Old Fitzroy Hotel. And we're going to walk past their entertainment room. So bearing in mind that we're still 7 minutes before official start time, this is a preview of, this is a, what would you call it, a prologue, I guess. So don't treat this as part of the tour. This is just a treat for you guys that jump on early. So there's the Old Fitzroy Hotel playroom over there. And this is what I'm talking about with the beautiful jacarandas. I'm just going to walk slowly, make my way slowly towards the cathedral. But you can see the absolutely gorgeous jacarandas. This street is Cathedral Street. They're literally snowing. They're raining down upon me, the flowers. I wanted to start with, sorry, I was standing right next to a car with their window open. Someone was in there trying to talk on their phone. I wanted to start with an image of beauty and of nature before we reach the memorial, which is obviously a far more somber topic. So let's enjoy just walking along through Cathedral Street and really taking in the beauty of these beautiful jacarandas. If we look down some of the side streets here, you can see that this area really dates from probably about the middle of the 18th century. Got the old houses down there. And that actually leads down to Sydney Harbour in that direction. I'm taking photos though. They're beautiful, aren't they? They're just gorgeous. Looks like a good video. Thanks. So Woolloomooloo, as I said, was an area that was largely inhabited by the working class, the very poor. Look at this stunning passion fruit. I just wanted to show you before we move on. Passion flower. And the name Woolloomooloo derives from the Aboriginal word Wallamalla, which meant young male kangaroo, or so it's believed. There's still struggle in this area. This establishment here, the Hope Street Community Centre, aims to help those at the very bottom end of the community. Hi, Jane Christine. And just as we get underneath, this is the train line above us that comes from the city and heads towards Bondi Junction. That's the train line we're walking under. So this is Cathedral Street we're walking along, and it was formerly Woolloomooloo Street, but there was a real push from the residents of the area to try and lift the image of Woolloomooloo. And now, of course, you'd be hard-pressed to buy property in this area if you're anything less than a middle class, median wage in any case. You have to be pretty well earning to buy into this area now. Hi, Culture D. Hi, Lorraine. So we will see more jacarandas as we walk, but I really just wanted to bring you this beautiful Cathedral Street. Let's see if we turn back and have a look back up the street, what it looks like from here. Okay, so we still have just under 3 minutes before the official start time. And if anyone's wondering how on earth you would spell or remember to spell a name like Woolloomooloo, I'm going to help you out with that in a moment. I know we're walking against the red, but we'll be fine. Hi, Angela. Hi, Faith. Right, so where are we? This is where I wanted to be, exactly where I wanted to be. Just a little bit of fun Australiana that I want to show you. We're just starting to see the top of the cathedral come into view over in that direction. I want to cross the road here. We're heading for that little spot, little street garden. Something that I want to show you. Hi, Faith. Hi, Bronwyn. Hi, Mum and Dad. Just waiting for the lights to change so we can cross the road. Which way are we going? I want to go that way. Hi, Amy. There's not a lot of traffic around here. I could take the risk, but I'd rather wait until the lights change. Here we go. We get a chance now. Okay. So there's the cathedral, and there's Westfield Tower. And that's where we're headed. We're headed towards the cathedral, first of all. All right, so it's just under 30 seconds before the official start time. I'll just cross the road and then we'll kick off from across the road here. Hi, Diana. Okay, these lights should be changing right about now. All right, so as I said, we're in the suburb called Woolloomooloo, which is derived from an Aboriginal word, Wallamalla, meaning young male kangaroo. Now, if you think that that's almost impossible to try and remember how on earth you would remember how to spell Woolloomooloo, here's a little something that you can record that might help you remember. Wool, loo, moo, loo. So it's W-O-O-L-L-O-L-M-O-O-L-O-O. Woolloomooloo. There we go. A little bit of fun Australiana for you. In behind here, let me see, can I get the camera in between these poles? Not easily. Anyway, so that's Woolloomooloo. Hi Rhonda, hi Peter, hi Debbie, and hi Jane. And there's a large mural just across the road over here that basically says trees are the answer. All right, so let's head up the hill towards the cathedral. And I'm waving back at you, Debbie, really carefully watching the clock because we really need to be at the ANZAC Memorial by about 5 minutes to 11. So that's about 25 minutes from now. And I did need to turn around and say hi to everybody. Bear with me. Hold on just a second. All right. So good morning, everyone. My name's Lynn. For anyone who hasn't met me before, welcome. Thank you for joining my tour this morning. And we're meeting today in Woolloomooloo. We'll be walking up to St Mary's Cathedral and then across to the ANZAC Memorial to mark Armistice Day or Remembrance Day, or in the States I believe it's known as Veterans Day. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. All right, so let's kick off and head up towards the beautiful St Mary's Cathedral. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're in Woolloomooloo, which is a small area tucked in between King's Cross to the east and the city itself to the west of here. This is one of the lovely old pubs in the area, the East Sydney Hotel, sitting beside another beautiful jacaranda tree. The jacarandas, a lot of people think they're native to Australia. Of course they're not. They were brought here in around about the early 1800s, I think around about the 1830s. They have put it down to, and I'm not going to cross, I'll wait. So there was a botanist who was extremely taken by them when he was on a ship between South America and Australia, and of course then back to England. He tried to propagate the plant using cuttings and traditional propagation techniques. Of course, anyone who lives in Sydney will tell you you don't need to go to any of that trouble to propagate a jacaranda. The seeds pop up very readily, and now they're absolutely everywhere. Of course, there was an urban legend that attributed the proliferation of jacarandas throughout Sydney to an obstetric nurse. It was said that she used to give a young sapling to every new mother. But it's never been proven or verified, and it's been put down to nothing more than an urban legend. Hi, Jan. Hi, Lorna. Who have I missed? I'm sure I missed a couple. Lindsay in San Diego. Good morning. Lots in Africa, lots in South America, yes. Anywhere in the southern hemisphere largely that has a climate very similar to where they originate from in South America. Hi, Anna. Lots there in San Diego. I imagine there would be. Hi, Jan. Hi, Lorna. I think I said hi, Lorna. MBDT. Thanks, Lorna. Hi to you as well. All right, so here we can see, let's have a look. Here's the beautiful St Mary's Cathedral, sitting in the shadow of the Westfield Tower. And I'm just going to try and work out the best way for me to get to it. And I think if I cross this way is going to be the best. This is the same way I went the other day. It involves a little bit of an uphill, so you might hear me puffing and panting a little bit. But that's okay. We'll be right. Across this way. So the St Mary's Cathedral is the second cathedral to occupy this site. The first one was built in, I believe it was around about 1830. Might have been earlier than that, but it was destroyed by fire. So the second one, which is the one we're looking at now, the turf, I think the soil was turned, the earth was turned for it almost immediately after the first building burnt down. But it wasn't until 1868 that the nave was completed. Hang on, no, sorry, I've got my dates wrong there. It was started in 1868, completed in 1928. Beg your pardon. Look at these stunning flags. Lorraine, you might appreciate these. I'm sure they're from New Zealand. But it was another more than 70 years before the spires were added in 2000. Here's the puffing and panting part as I walk up the hill. So just sort of, ignore my breathlessness if you can. Okay. So I'm going to catch up with some comments. Yeah, Sue, it's easy, isn't it, to think that an area where you see them most common is where they originate from. Hi, Jen. Hi, Susan. Hi, Virginia and Katie. Oh, wow, Bronwyn, did you really? That would have been something. That would have been something indeed. All right, I've just wandered into a shady part, which is rather lovely because it's quite humid today. All right, so here we go. There's our first significant look at the St Mary's Cathedral. We're walking past a park called Cook and Phillip Park, which used to be part of Hyde Park, but it was divided off when College Street was built. I don't know, Virginia, which clouds were you talking about? Let me see if I can see what you might have been looking at. They're quite wispy. I think there's probably some wind up there. All right, so let's have a look here. I literally cannot get this building in frame unless I step back. to walk right back over here. I'm going to do a vertical shot for you, so bear with me. 1, 2, 3. And I'll step back out of the way of this car that's trying to get into the car park. 1, 2, 3. Oops. There we go. Yes, so they're the spires on top there that were added in 2000. I've got an image that I can add to the chat that shows you what it looked like in 1930 before the spires were added. Now I'm going to try and get inside the church. We're only going to spend a few minutes there because I want to get to the ANZAC Memorial in time for the observance of the 1 minute silence and the playing of the last post. It does look completely different, doesn't it, Virginia? So you can imagine it stopped about there where the cross is. And there it is with the spires on top. And on our left is Westfield Tower, which used to be called variously Sydney Tower and Centrepoint Tower, but now it's got some sponsorship on top of it. It actually sits above a mall called Westfield Pitt Street Mall, so it's called Westfield Tower. Oh, sorry, Joan. Let me see if I can do it from here. No. I'll do it when we get out. Remind me, well, I'll do it again when we get outside again. We're just a little bit too close now. All right, so I will observe silence unless I have an opportunity to speak while we're inside. But first of all, let me show you. These are the names of the designers and the architects. There we go. Yes, it is quite surprising, isn't it, Sue, that it is only less than 100 years old, really. I'm going to get a coin out just to offer when we get inside. Bear with me. Sorry. Juggling my purse. Okay. All right, so as I said, we're only going to spend a few minutes in here, and then we'll head out to the ANZAC Memorial. Okay, I'm going to do a vertical shot here. 1, 2, 3. Oops, that was wrong. Okay, I'm going back to normal. 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry, hold on. There. All right, okay. Very quietly. Virginia, that was Chinese on the sign, I believe. Remind me, I'll have a look when we get back out. But we do actually have quite a large Chinese community in Sydney as well. Okay, I'm going to turn around sideways. There's a gorgeous rose window above the main entrance. I'm not Catholic, so I don't understand or know the symbolism inside this cathedral. I hope that it's relevant to any of you who do observe the Catholic faith. There's something of something of particular relevance to you here, Sue. 1 second. I'll show you the organ. All right. So this organ, the most recent one, was installed, I think it was 1993. It was built by the Canadian firm Org Le Tourneau in Saint Hyacinthe, I think is the pronunciation, in Quebec. So there's the connection to Canada. Okay. And I don't know what all the different parts of the church are, so I'll just walk past them, and I'm hoping that it's relevant to most of you. What I'm going to do over here, there's there's an appeal for Ukraine. Thanks, Sue. Okay, so this says it's for Ukraine. So what I'll do is, just on behalf of everybody, is make a donation, place a candle, and we'll light it. If I can. Okay, so that's from me. For all our Ukrainian colleagues, Olga is the one I know best, but I know there are others. All right, so let's quickly. I'm sorry, I'm not giving this very much justice. We should come back and do this another time. I really just wanted to very quickly show you through this absolutely stunning cathedral. I'll do a vertical here. One, two, three. Una, I don't know the answer to that. I'm standing back as far as I can, so that's the very best I can do on this window. Okay, back again. 1, 2, 3. Come on, go back. There we go. Okay, then over on the left-hand side, there's another small chapel. I think that's what you call it, isn't it? It's a chapel over here. There's a camera set up over there for some reason. And then a little bit further on is the baptismal font. I'll just find that, and then we'll head out. I'm going to try and remember where it is. I think it's just up here on the left. thank you, Corinne. I just wanted to show you one of these beautiful windows. So here we go. Here's the try and find a way that you can see it through this glittery gate. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Having trouble focusing. I'm trying to get it through the through the gate. Oh, that's not going to work. Sorry, guys. All right, so that's the okay, it's 20 past, 20 minutes in, and we need to get cracking. So, video Hall of Remembrance in time. One last look along the length of the church. Oh wow, Bronwyn. There you go. So there was a sign here someone asked me about, and that is over here. So yes, it is in Chinese as well as English. We've had a significant Chinese community in Sydney since the early 1800s. So, and some of them are Catholic. So I guess that's why they have that sign in Chinese. Right, so I needed to do a vertical shot of the cathedral for, let me think, who was it? Joan, I think it was, that asked me to do that. How far back can I go? Right, let's try and do it from here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Not sure if we're going to get it all in. No, we're not going to get it all in from here. I have to go further back. 1 second. All right, let's turn around here. I'll come to all your comments in a moment. We're not going to have very good exposure, I'm afraid. It's looking a bit dark because the sky's so bright behind it, but we're going to try. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. That's as good as we're going to get because of the sun, because of the brightness of the sky. But if you take a shot, you might be able to adjust it in your own photo editor later. All right, let's keep moving. Going back. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You're welcome, Virginia. Okay, crossing the road. We're going to head into Hyde Park. So while we're waiting for the lights to change, we get a shot from here. There's too many trees in the way. Not really, yeah. Too many trees in the way, unfortunately. Still waiting for the lights to change so I can cross the road. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Another shot for you. And back again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. These lights take an awfully long time. There we go. All right, so I will let you know that I did try and get a poppy I did try and get a poppy to pin to my shirt for today. There was some not far from where I live growing wild in the median strip. So we picked a few of them, put them in water last night, and when I went to attach one to my shirt this morning, the petals just all dropped off. Fragile little things they are. So because I had no success, this is what I'm doing instead. Here's the poppy I want to share with you. Oh, did you ask me a question about poppies, Sue? It's actually Remembrance Day in Australia. Yes, it is. And of course, anyone who lives in a country that was involved in the Great War, World War One, from 1914 to 1918. If you were from a Commonwealth nation such as you and I, Sue, then you would know that we were considered to be on the side of the Allies against the Germans. And the 11th of November marks the day that Germany signed the surrender document. This is a little garden that I won't spend any time at all on because we don't really have time. But it's called the Sandringham Garden, and it pays honour to King George V and King George VI. I really need to come back and spend a tour just on Hyde Park. There is a lot in this garden to see. Yes, exactly. Great War. Great War it definitely was not. I have a little piece of paper in my bag that I will pull out when we get to the ANZAC Memorial, which actually describes the numbers of Australians involved in that war. Yes, Bron, I think the connection between Rosemary and... We'll try and get these lights. 13 seconds, can I do it? Ooh, maybe. Made it. Because rosemary, I understand, grew readily at Gallipoli. All right. Tempting as it is to make a funny joke about HP and the Harry Potter park, I won't. Sorry. This is Hyde Park. Looks like I've arrived just in time. I'm not sure if you could hear any of that, but I'm going to basically let the MC take over commentary from here.
Going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them, lest we forget. wishing to cast their stars into the world of contemplation in the Hall of Memory, I will now invite you to do so. Thank you.
Debbie, this is the ANZAC Memorial, and I'll do my best to try and describe to the best of my ability some of the features of it. So you can see at the upper level the seated figurines. There are 16 of those, 4 on each side, and they represent all the skills and roles of our servicemen and women during the First World War. So you've got everything from signals people to nurses, airmen, riflemen, naval people. I don't know all their titles. This was built in 1930. In the 1930s, it was completed. Around the 4 corners are the standing sentinels. So there's 20 figures in total, 16 seated and 4, 1 on each corner standing. The 4 standing sentinels represent the 4 divisions or services. So you've got the Navy, the infantry, the aerial servicemen, and then you've got the matron up here on the right, which represents the nursing corps. I don't know how I get hold of one of these stars, but I'm sure I won't be prohibited from going inside in any case. We will go inside and see the Hall of Memory and the Hall of Silence. I'm going to try and catch up on some of the comments that I've missed before we do, however. Hold on just 1 second. I'm not sure what Ronnie was replying to. Yeah, okay, right. Agreed, Stevie. Yep. Sprigs of rosemary. Right, we were talking about those. Agree, no such thing, Stevie. Absolutely, all of us colonials, as they're called us, contributed a great deal to the success of World War One. And on that, hang on, let me just finish. Yes, rosemary for remembrance, but it was particularly relevant, as I understand it, to Turkey and the Anzacs because it was growing so readily on Gallipoli at Anzac Cove, is my understanding. Yeah, thanks, Stevie. Hi, Graham. What is the name of that building? That's what I just mentioned, Debbie. Hi, Laurie. Lest we forget. Thank you, Bronwyn. Indeed. Respect and honouring. I feel a little right now with emotion. Oh, I'm ill. I'm sorry, Stevie. I hope you're okay. It's about 5 blocks from where I lived. You lived around here. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, now, I wanted to mention, I've got a slip of paper in my bag here. I just wanted to rattle off some numbers because they're quite confronting. If I could find it in here. Here we go. So, Australia was a very young nation in 1914. We only had 5 million people back then. We have 27 million now. Back then, 417,000 men enlisted out of a population of 5 million people total. So that's a huge number. And of those, almost 62,000 were killed and 156,000 were wounded, gassed or taken prisoner. Many Anzacs, up to 18,000, have no known grave. So I thought that you might find that interesting. Okay. I'm going to go in first of all to the Hall of Silence. And the centerpiece of the Hall of Silence is a statue called Sacrifice. Before we go inside, I'll just show you this frieze on the front of the building. I'm not sure if you can see it because it's very dark. Let me see. Can we get some detail on this? Yeah, and we still keep doing it, don't we, Stevie? How many were enlisted? 412, I think, was 1,000 out of a population of 5 million. So you can imagine that was all our young men back then. So this is the statue called Sacrifice. And it represents, or it depicts, it represents what the Spartans used to say about you either come home with your shield or on it. So in other words, come home victorious or don't come home at all. So that was the message behind this statue. I don't think I should take the gimbal in the lift. I'm worried that I'll lose the signal. So I will walk up the stairs instead. So the Hall of Memory is topped with a dome with 120,000 stars. I don't know if you can see them up there. 120,000 gold stars, and that represents the number of people from New South Wales who enlisted in the Great War. And this is the Well of Contemplation, which is surrounded by this marble carving which represents a wreath. So from here we can look down upon the statue of Sacrifice. And the bronze flames are supposed to represent the eternal flame. In each of the alcoves surrounding the Well of Contemplation is each of the alcoves is dedicated to each of the 4 main theatres of war that Australia was involved in. So this one here, for example, is dedicated to New Guinea and the high seas, Cocos Islands, West Atlantic, North Sea, and so on, Malaysia. If I look out through this entryway here, there's another cascading pool. I can't actually see it from here, but over in that corner of Hyde Park, we won't go there, I'll go there another time, is a German gun from a ship. Can I see it from here? The SMS Emden might be there behind the trees. I can't really see it, but that was sunk by the HMAS Sydney off the Cocos Islands after the Emden destroyed a communications post. So that gun was retrieved at that time. And this says ANZAC Memorial. This memorial is sacred to the memory of all who have served in war. All right, so what I'm going to do is there is one last thing I want to show you in Hyde Park before we finish. I'll just quickly show you the alcoves as we leave. So this one's France and Belgium. Here we have the eternal flame. Thanks for joining me, Susan. This one is dedicated to Gallipoli. And the final one is dedicated to Egypt and Palestine. The last thing I want to show you inside this hall, and it might be difficult to see, is the bas relief friezes above the alcoves. And what they show again is the four services. But in behind them, those shadowy figures, they represent the March of the Dead. Okay, there's one last thing I need to show you. Oops, sorry, that's going out instead of out. This way. All right, how's everyone doing? We all doing okay? Because there's one last thing I need to show you, which may or may not have even more impact than this did. Just need to get down these darn stairs first. So over in this corner of Hyde Park, there's a recent sculptural installation.
Thank you. Be extra careful.
Yes.
Sort of with steps and that.
Absolutely. Okay, so this sculpture represents the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who served. The artist drew from his own family military experience when he designed this installation. His grandfather, whose name was Eddie Albert, served in the Great War. He and 6 other Indigenous people were taken prisoner. 3 of them were shot, and they're depicted by the 3 fallen shells. And the 4 standing survived. And I want to find the plaque for this because I want to get the name of it correct. I practiced it, but I still can't. It's one of those really tricky Aboriginal names, and I want to make sure I've got it correct. Sorry. Okay, here we go. It's called Yinin Madhyami, Thou Didst Let Fall. Okay, so if you want to take a postcard of this, this gives you a description of this particular artwork. And the poignant thing about that entire story, which many people may not know, is that when the servicemen returned to Australia, the white servicemen received land. The Indigenous, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander servicemen didn't. Yeah, that's right, Virginia, exactly. Let me just catch up on some of the comments that I've missed. Sorry for doing this, but Bonnie joined. Hi, Bonnie. Sorry for your losses to all on here who have lost family in wars. Yeah, my sentiments exactly. Ronnie, thank you. I said goodbye to Susan. Oh wow, Adrian, that's an important keepsake. All right, okay. So how did everyone go? Did I do it justice? I guess is the question. Because as a fairly nonchalant teenager, I didn't take an awful lot of interest in most of this for much of my life, and I'm coming late to the knowledge that I should have had all along for our history, and I'm more than happy to share it with you as I learn. Hi, Fliss. Sorry you missed most of the tour. I'm really sorry. Yeah, exactly, DT. I imagine it's the same for most nations. Probably not just the Black Americans. I imagine that there would have been your own Indigenous um, uh, people who served as well. As far as I know, no. As far as I know, Sue, no, there was no. And I guess that's why there's been such a fight since then for land rights and recognition, and the really strong push for Indigenous people now to be heard, and um, and yeah. Sorry, Fliss. It was his. Let me just show you. I'll come back over this side and show you the ANZAC Memorial because we're still right here. All right. So I hope everyone gained something from this experience. This is a really weird optical illusion. It feels like the path is wavy, rippled. I will come back over and show you one last view of the ANZAC Memorial, and then we'll finish up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's Lorraine. Exactly. And I'm not deliberately ignoring other Indigenous peoples. It's just that this is relevant to us here. I don't remember if I had any other. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Oh, Katie, that's horrible. Thank you, everyone. And all right, let's turn this around. I'm very hot, red in the face after walking at fast pace through Woolloomooloo and up to St Mary's. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. I am very grateful for your company. I'm going to get out of the sun over here in the shade a bit. Thank you, Hadrian. I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I think I might go over and have a look at the David Jones and see if they've got their Christmas displays up in their windows. Just spotted another little memorial over there. So before I finish up, I'll walk over there and show you that as well. And tomorrow I'll be out doing art at Portland, which is just to the west of the Blue Mountains. We've got silos and an open studio. So hopefully I'll get to see you there. I feel a bit awkward and weird talking about that sort of stuff while we're still sort of in the moment. But anyway, I'm really just sort of hoping I'll see you on another tour very soon. Let me turn this around and I'll show you this one last memorial that's just over here on the grass. And then we'll finish up. I'm not sure exactly what this is. It's just quite a small, modest... Oh, actually, I think I do know what this is. And that's probably just as important. If I remember, this pays homage to the Turks. Yes. There we are. Remembering, of course, that we lost an awful lot of young men at Gallipoli, but Turkey lost even more. Turkey's sacrifice was even greater. All right, so there you go. Thank you again, everyone. Bye for now.